Hey everybody, this is Jared here on MTG, coming at you today with a little bit of a different video. No, this is not a typical unboxing video, nor is it a rules video or a deck tech. Today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be opening this pre-release pack of Tarkir Dragonstorm and building a pre-release deck out of it. Now, I already hear you. Why am I doing this? The Tarkir pre-release was a couple weeks ago. It's on to Final Fantasy. What's going on here? Well, good news, bad news, then good news again. The good news is that the new job that I started was working at my local game store. Awesome. Bad news, because I am working the Magic events, I am not allowed to play in the pre-releases. Sad. But I was able to pick up one of these pre-release kits with the employee discount, and I thought that I could make some good content. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Part of the reason why I'm making this video is because I see a lot of newer players kind of struggle with pre-releases. They don't really know what it is, how to build a deck. So this video is aimed towards helping the newer player getting more comfortable with building a deck, just trying to get to know like what you're getting into. Even though Tarkir Dragonstorm is a couple weeks ago, many of these skills and wisdom that I'm going to give are easily transferable to literally any other pre-release event that you go to. But it's not only for the newer players, the enfranchised players can get something out of this as well, because as a person who has qualified for regional championships in Limited, I feel like sharing my deck building strategies could be of some note, at least a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into talking about building a pre-release deck. So the Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release is kind of special, and what I mean by that is that their pre-release packs are factionalized, meaning that whenever you join in pre-release, you get to choose one of these 5 or so factions, and the one that I chose to build today is the Jeskai one. So the contents of this box will kind of shift and gear me towards building a blue, red, and white deck. What that looks like, we'll get into it whenever we actually open the box. But Tarkir Dragonstorms feature factionalized pre-release boxes. Not every pre-release boxes are factionalized, so the upcoming one for Final Fantasy, that won't be factionalized. You'll just get a pre-release box. You have the same chance of playing a color combination as another. So let's get into opening this. Really? Always. I always have bad luck with opening stuff. It's fine. Alright, so opening the box. Get a little insert here. Jeskai, led by monk practitioners of the way, seeking unity of thought and a shred understanding of reality. Precise, compassionate, and rigorous, the Jeskai consider it their duty to guide Tarkir to a better future. What nice little bullshit to say. Alright, so inside this kit you'll have the box with all the stuff in it, plus this actual box is kind of useful because as you can see there's these little punch out things. You can punch out these little planeswalker symbols, you can punch out these little counters here, so just in case like you don't have dice or anything to mark your cards for anything, you can use this box. The box kind of helps you. So let's open this. Ooh, this is different. So every pre-release pack, I should probably explain before I talk about my disdain for whatever this is. So every pre-release pack will come with one spin down die. It will come with, if I can open it, it'll come with a little helper, a little helper insert into building your pre-release deck. Well, that's pretty. That's for another time. A little divider, one seeded pack. So the seeded pack, this is kind of how like whenever you choose your faction, like this seeded pack will like give you the tools necessary to like have a good foundation when building in those colors. Obviously the promo card doesn't necessarily have to match your colors, but everything in here should be a good foundation for building the Jeskai deck. So you'll get the spin down, the seeded pack, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs of Tarkir. In just a regular non-seeded pack, this seeded pack will just become another play booster pack. So you just get 6 booster packs and you have to build your deck from those, including your promo. So what is this? This is not what I was expecting. It reminds me of a very long time ago whenever I was first learning how to play the game. I started playing the game in Return to Ravnica block, and this is giving me Gruul Christmas Puke memories. This is not a very appealing color combination, if I'm honest. All right, well, this will go into the pile of spin downs. So, so what I typically like to do when I build my deck is I just rip open all the packs and I sort by color, or in color combinations. Obviously, if you're new, I assume you're just going to take some time to read the cards. Whenever you're building your deck, you do have 50 minutes to build your deck. That is a substantial amount of time. But please, if you're unfamiliar with any of these cards or what they actually do, go ahead and read them, take all the time you need. Absolutely no pressure on that. But just for me, because I'm very used to playing in pre-releases, I just kind of rip open everything very quickly. So I separate everything by colors. We got multicolored. Oh, and I try to separate the rares from the commons and uncommons, just so I can... We'll get into that later, but let's just sort this out. Ooh, so this is interesting. I treat these cards as multicolored. Even though I can't choose red, I can't choose blue, I'm going to treat it as multicolored. Ooh. Neat. Ooh, it's Sarkin. I saw him played at the pre-release I ran. He seems neat. Okay, let's clean up a little bit. Alrighty, so now that we got everything separated by color and we have all of our rares separated out here, the way that I typically like to build my decks is, it's kind of old at this point, but it's still pretty tried and true. It's called the BREAD method. And BREAD is obviously an acronym. BREAD stands for bombs, removal, evasion, aggro, and then dirt or dud, whatever you prefer. Ooh, shaking. So, bombs are typically stuff that needs to be answered, stuff that would take over a game, cards that are really powerful that just grant you an advantage, and typically those are going to be in your rares and mythics. So, let's take a look at what we opened here. So we got Rediscover the Way. If I can get this to not have so much glare. It's an enchantment saga for a blue, a red, and a white. Chapter 1 and 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Chapter 3, whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. So nice little card advantage and aggro. So that seems like a bomb to me. Ambling Storm Shell. Is this the meandering tortoise that, is this a reference to that? 5 mana, 5/9 turtle with ward 2. When this creature attacks, put 3 stun counters on it and draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. That's really funny. So this is still a bomb. It's still 5 mana, 5/9. Sure, it can't attack or block for the first few turns, but it still draws you 3 cards, so that's pretty neat. Glacier Wood Verge. As this enchantment enters, choose Temur or Sultai. Temur, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 4 cards. Sultai, you may play lands from your graveyard. Still pretty good, however, it is only it's both blue and green is not what we're geared toward. We're geared toward red, white, and blue. So we're just going to keep this on the back burner. Sarkhan, 2 mana 2/2, legendary human druid. When it enters, you may behold a dragon if you do create a treasure token. So to behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. I don't think we have any rare dragons, but I think we have some in here. Whenever a dragon you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan. Until end of turn, Sarkhan becomes a dragon in addition to its other types and gains flying. So that's really good. All Out Assault. It is in 2 of our colors, so maybe. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you attack this turn, untap each creature you control. So basically an extra Relentless Assault on enchantment, just a free extra combat. We got our pre-release promo here in Awaken the Honored Dead. I can read. Lore counter 1, destroy target non-land permanent. Lore counter 2, mill 3 cards. Lore counter 3, you may discard a card. When you do, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty good in a Sultai deck. We are not Sultai, but let's just take a look at the rest of our pool. Looks like we got the Kori Steel Cutter. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has Trample and Haste. That's pretty neat. Flurry, that's one of the keywords for the Jeskai. So we've got to be on the lookout for any flurry effects. Whenever I cast my second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. I may attach this equipment to it and then equip for 1 in a red. That's pretty neat. So you can see a little bit of synergy with the Jeskai spells here. So we got to Rediscover the Way. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them in your hand. So the card advantage helps you get to the second spell, which then lets you flurry, and then with your flurried creatures, you can then give it double strike. So I see what you're doing. I see the synergy. But our last rare here is a 1/3 flyer, Bird Scout for 2. Whenever this creature attacks, I lose a life, and this creature endures 1. So either put a +1/+1 counter on it, or make a 1/1 spirit. I would imagine that enduring creatures are most likely going to choose the spirit, but there may be special circumstances where you want the counter. It is in black though, so I'm just going to set it over here in this pile in our maybe but not so likely to play. So, now that we've identified our bombs, let's go ahead and separate them by color. So I like to put them right underneath the color of everything else that I have here, just so I can mark it. So, black, and we got all these multicolors here. So, now that we identified our bombs, so that's the B in bread. So now we need to identify our removal. So this can be any spell, creature, or non-creature that destroys, exiles, or just otherwise removes something of your opponents from the battlefield. So let's just go ahead and take a quick look at what we have here. Alrighty, so I went ahead and separated everything. So let's take a look at what we have in our white really quick. So we have Osseous Exhale. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may behold a dragon. It deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If a dragon was beheld, you gain 2 life. So that's a pretty good 5 damage removal. Stormplane Detainment. When this enchantment enters, exile the top... No. Can I read? When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. So this card is pretty neat. Just a good O-ring. O-ring, but not O-ring. We got this Coordinated Maneuver. So we can either choose to have it deal damage equal to the number of creatures I control to target creature or planeswalker, or destroy target enchantment. Those are all pretty good removal spells. Our blue here, we got 2 of these Riverwalk techniques. So we can choose to either have the owner of target non-land permanent put it on their choice at the top or bottom of their library, or counter target non-creature spell. So that's pretty good. We also got 1 Ringing Strike Mastery. Enchant Aura. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Enchanted creature has pay 5, untap this creature. So while it is not like removal per se, it is very annoying for your opponent to keep attacking in with the same creature. We do have some interesting things in black still. The first is Death Touch. So depending on the format, for me, Death Touch can be either removal or aggro. So I decided to put it in here with removal, just as a safety, just to make sure I don't miss it in the future. So we got the Nightblade Brigade, Death Touch, Mobilize 1, when it enters, Surveil 1, pretty neat. We got 2 of these Alesha's Legacies. Target creature I control gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn at instant speed. We also got the Aggressive Negotiations. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 creature you control. So hand attack, I consider hand attack removal as well. Kind of like preemptive removal, but that's what we have in black. We have our red. We only have 2 red removal pieces here, which is kind of surprising because red has a lot of burn stuff. We got Channel Dragonfire, 1 red mana, 2 damage to any target, but we have Harmonize for 5, 6, 7. So you may cast this card from my graveyard for its Harmonize cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power, then exile the spell. So just kind of like a recursive burn spell, or recursive shock. We also got the Sunset Strike Master, the first red mana dork, really. 2 mana, 3/1, tap to add red, or we can pay 2 a red and tap it and sacrifice the Strike Master to have it deal 6 damage to target creature with flying. So basically just one-hit kill any of your opponent's dragons, if they're playing any. We also got some green. Again, we got the Sultide Devotee in here because it's got Death Touch. It's a pretty good rattlesnake. Undergrowth Leopard, just a 2/2 with Vigilance that we can sack to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Sarkhan's Resolve. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Destroy target or destroy target creature with flying. I swear I can speak English. Heritage Reclamation. We can either choose to destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, or exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, then draw a card. So that's what we got there, but we also have some multicolored removal. The first one is part of our seeded pack. We got this River Wheel Sweep. Tap target creature, then put 3 stun counters on it. Then we exile the top 2 cards of our library, choose one of them until end of my next turn. You may play that card. So it's removal and card advantage, which is exactly what we want. We also got this Runescale Stormbrood. It's Omen. We counter target spell with mana value 2 or less. Then we'll shuffle this card into our library. And then we have the Creature Half, which is a 2/4 flying dragon. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell or a dragon spell, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So that's pretty neat. A good disdainful whatever. We also found this Kin Tree Severance. Although it is not in our colors, as you can see, it's got the come on camera, focus. It's got the these hybrid symbols up here. So we can either pay 2 or a white, and 2 or a black, or 2 and a green. So if we play it in our Jeskai build, this will always be like 5 mana, because we can always pay the white, but then we have to pay 2 generic for the rest. Exile target permanent with mana 3 or greater. This is, like, I like these cards. These cards are great. They're good for sealed events and stuff like that because you can basically fit them in any deck. We'll see when we get to our mana curve to see if we even need this spell here. But let's continue. So now at this point, I just kind of like to stop and just like kind of like see where I'm at with my color priorities. So first I look at white spells. So I see that we got 1, 2, 3 spells here, plus we got 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 white spells. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue spells, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red spells, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7 green spells. Alrighty, I put these dice here just to help me kind of visualize what's going on here. So as you can see, we have pretty strong good cards here in blue and black and red. What we're lacking in is a little bit of white and green, but let's just keep going and see if we need to actually maybe go 4-color. 4-color or 5-color. 5-color is viable in this format, but let's just keep going. So the next part of bread is evasion. So anything that's evasion is anything that can avoid being blocked. Any creature that has like flying, for example, or just like strictly like unblockable, or any type of like just, you know, evasion. So let's go ahead. Ooh. So let's go ahead and take a look through everything. Oh, I completely missed this Ice Rage Serpent. Whenever this creature enters, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Yeah, that's removal. 10. Alrighty, after going through for evasion stuff, we've put in a lot more cards in blue. So we got this High Spire Bellringer, flying. The second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. We got, well, I got 2 Ice Ridge Serpents that I forgot to put in our removal package. We got this Wingspan Stride, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 in flying. We can also return this aura back to our hand, so if we have a better target or we're about to lose our creature, we can just snap it back. And we got the Snowmelt Stag, which is just a 2/5 vigilance. During your turn, it has base power and toughness 5/2. We can just pay 7 mana to make it so it can't be blocked this turn. So these seem pretty good to me. So we are very strongly in blue. In black, I did find a couple things. Menace is evasion, because it needs to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. So 2/1 with Menace. When this creature enters, it endures 2, so we can make another dude or just make this bigger depending on the circumstances. Purging Stormbrood. Flying Ward, pay 2 life. When this creature enters, remove all counters from up to 1 target creature. It also has the Omen for white. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink and hexproof until end of turn. This really should be in the multicolor, but I put it in here. Let's just put it right over here. We also got the Delta Bloodflies. This is a 1/2 flyer. When this creature attacks, if you control a creature with a counter on it, each opponent loses 1 life. Of course, we got the rare that is also flying. But that's what we got here in our black pile. Not too much in the red pile. I think we just got this one Storm Shriek Feral. Omen, discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. It's a 3/3 hasty flyer with fire breathing. So that's pretty generic, but still pretty good for what we want to try to do. In this, in green, I consider Trample evasion, because you're still getting damage through, it just might not be in what you're expecting. So the Attuned Hunter here, 3/3 Trample, whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, seems pretty good. And Synchronized Charge, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures you control. Creatures you control with counters on them gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. Harmonize for 4 and a green. So, we got those. We also got a bunch of additional multicolored stuff. So here we got, in our seeded pack, we got the Monastery Messenger, just a 2/3 flying vigilance. When it enters, put up to 1 target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. That's pretty good. We got the, ooh, how do you say this? Karakic Guardian. It's a 6/5 dragon with flying vigilance and trample. This creature has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. That's pretty neat. We also got the Effortless Master, 4/3 vigilance menace. This creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. So that's pretty good. We also got the Whirlwind Storm Brood, mainly just looking for the flash and flying 4/3. I may cast dragon spells, well, may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells as though they had flash. I can also put 3+1/+1 counters on target creature I control. So that's what we got here for our multicolored spells. So now that we've gone through our evasion, let's take stock again. So after looking at all of our playable cards that we have here, you'll notice that our white here is not holding up its weight. We don't have any great cards in bombs, removal, or evasion, and those are the cards that we really want to try and kind of push in our deck because those are our strongest cards. But your initial thought might be to remove it, but since this is a very heavily like multicolored geared deck, if we take out white, then our Monastery Messenger is more expensive. Our River Wheel Sweep is more expensive. We lose out on our Rediscover the Way, which is one of our bombs. So I am inclined to stick with the Jeskai color combination, mainly because all of this pile is just removal. Even though we have some great cards in black and green, I see more downside with going with one of these more colors than with the Jeskai color combination, just in my personal experience. But if you at home think that any of these color combinations, probably black, my other guess was to go like Grixis, go blue, black, red, just because it's my strongest colors. But I'll leave you to decide that in the comments. So let's just go ahead and take these away, and let's start looking at our mana curve. Alrighty, so I went ahead and I just sorted all the playable cards that I've picked so far into our mana curve. And basically what that means is that this is our 1-drop pile, our 2-drop pile, our 3-drop pile, 4-drop, 5-drop, so on and so forth. Just to give us an idea of what our deck looks like. Typically, whenever we refer to the mana curve, we refer to just having a low amount of cards, high amount of cards, and then gradually decreasing in the amount of cards as the CMC, or the mana value, goes up. So, as you can see, that from our playables, we have not a lot of creatures. All the creatures are up top, all the non-creatures are on the bottom, just so I can see what can I attack with. As you can see, we don't have a lot of creatures here, and the creatures that we do have, we are very top heavy. We have a lot of 5-drops here in this slot. We also have a lot of non-creature spells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but typically a game ends whenever you attack with creatures, so we want to make sure that we have enough creatures and we can deal with this later. So now that I got my curve built, let's go on to our next part of bread, aggro. So aggro is anything that like buffs power, deals extra damage to creatures, anything that to help put the pressure on your opponent. So let's take a look at our aggressors. All right, so in our aggressive category, red really shines here, as usual. So we got these Devoted Duelists, just a 2-1 with haste and flurry. Whenever we cast our second spell each turn, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So that puts the pressure on there and also gives us some more 2-drops. Wild Ride, it's a sorcery, so we may not include it because we are overloaded on our non-creature spells, so we really don't need it. Same thing with Seize Opportunity. It's pretty good because you give 2 target creatures +2/+1 till end of turn, and you can Impulse Draw, but we are pretty much overfilled with that, so let's just keep going. War Effort, good aggressive, but let's just keep going. Jeskai Devotee, Flurry, whenever we cast our second spell each turn, this creature gets +1/+1. It can also filter a mana, so we can put a mana into it to get one of Jeskai out. We got 2 of those. Fortress Kinguard, when this creature enters, it endures 1. So we can either make it bigger or make a dude. So that's pretty aggressive, just putting more bodies on the field. Whenever a creature we control dies while this card is in our graveyard, we may pay 1 and a white. If we do, return this card from my graveyard to your hand. So this is kind of like a reanimation, just keeps coming back over and over, just putting on the pressure as things die. That's pretty neat to me. Locks it on Battle Priest at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. So that's pretty neat. And we got the Poise Practitioner. Flurry, whenever we cast our second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature and scry 1. So aggressive with a +1/+1 counter and card semi-advantage with the scry 1. That's pretty neat. Rebellious Strike is our last non-creature here. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn and draw a card. So it's a replacement effect. So I'm personally going to ignore the non-creature ones in favor of the creature ones because we are very light on creatures. Even the little deck building thing here even recommends that you have 15 to 18 creatures and 5 to 8 other spells. So we're good here. I need to fill out this more. So we got some 2-drops. All of these are 2-drops. All of these are 2-drops. They're literally all 2-drops. Everybody loves 2-drops. Got a 5-drop and a 3-drop. Okay. Oh, I also keep forgetting about these multicolored spells here. There is this one Jeskai Brushmaster. 2/4 Double Strike Prowess. Seems pretty good. Let's jam that in our 4-drop space because we can. Now then, how many creatures we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we got 21 creatures. Let's get rid of 3 of them to make our 18 benchmark. And I am very inclined to get rid of some of these ones because we are very heavy on the 2-drops. So I think it is worthwhile to get rid of a Furious Forbear, Fortress Kingguard, and a Devoted Duelist because they're the aggro, they're 4th tier cards. Still good, but they're not at what the heart of this deck wants to try and become. So I'm just going to take these out for a moment and see how this looks. Now, I see, let's get these out of here. So typically, when we follow a mana curve, even like detailed on this little diagram here, we should have about 0 to 2 cards, 6 to 8 cards in our 1-drop, 6 to 8 cards in our, wait no, this is our 1-drop. 0 to 2 cards in our 1-drop, 6 to 8 cards in 2-drop, 6 to 8 in 3, 3 to 5 for 4-drops, 2 to 4 for 5-drops, and 1 to 3 cards for 6 and above. So, how does our deck compare to that? Well, first off is our 1-drops. We got one too many 1-drops here, and I am inclined to kind of get rid of one because we don't really necessarily need all these, and it cuts back on our non-creatures, our stuff that isn't going to win us the game. So I'm electing to take out the Wingspan Sprite because these other 2 right here are removal pieces, and removal comes before evasion. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're good here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That meets the benchmark, so we're good there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could probably cut something out of here. And honestly, I think it's probably the Brushmaster, even though I just literally put this in. I think we're taking it out just to see what it looks like. Or we could take out a River Rock Technique. I like the sound of that better. I like taking out this, I don't know. It is a removal piece. Give me a moment. And here we got our 5-drops. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a lot, but considering that we're not playing any 6-drops or anything above that, I feel like we can kind of like, I don't know, splurge a little bit for a few more higher end cards here. We're also pretty efficient on our mana here, so everything is basically down here. So let's take stock here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We've got 18 creatures. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 non-creatures. So how many is that total? Oh my god, how many is it total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27. So 27 cards is too many. It's too many. Typically, whenever we build our deck, we want to have 23 non-land cards and then 17 land cards to make the whole 40 card deck. So 23, we have 27, we need to cut 4 cards. So which cards should I cut? That's a very hard decision for everybody, including me. Alrighty, so basically what I've done here is kind of like rebalance everything. I also realized that this river wheel sweep should have been put down here and not up here, but that's fixed. So what I did was that I took out, well, first thing that you notice is I took out the Riverwalk techniques. They're really good counter spells. They're really good just kind of like tuck effects, putting target online permanent on the top or bottom of their opponent's library. I decided to take them out because our 4 mana slot is pretty piled up with our creatures, and it doesn't really fit our curve very well, so I took those out. I also took out the last remaining Devoted Duelist in favor of the Jeskai Devotees. So, with that, this looks like a pretty good 23, because I got my bombs here, I got Sarkhan here, I got my Storm Shell here, I got my Kori Steel Cutter, and I got my Rediscover the Way. So we got 4 bombs here in the deck. We also got many removal pieces, because we got the Ice Ridge Serpents in here. We got the, where is it? We got the Sunset Strike Master, we got the Channel Dragonfire and the things, we got our Exhales and our Maneuvers, we got our Oblivion Ring and Storm Plane Detainment and the River Wheel Sweep, so we're pretty good on removal. We also got a lot of evasion here with the Feral and the Menace and the Flying and the just pay 7 and it's unblockable and the Flying and the Flying. And then we just have our aggressive pieces here, the Jeskai Devotees, which help filter our mana if we get stuck on 2 of our colors instead of all 3, Poise Practitioner, and the Jeskai Brushmaster. So, honestly, I think that this would be a pretty good deck to bring to build for the pre-release. But of course, what is a deck without the lands? It's time for math. Alrighty, so this is our deck. These are the dual lands that we were fortunately able to pool in our pool. So, we got 1 Mystic Monastery, we got 2 Swiftwater Cliffs, and 1 Tranquil Cove. We also got a bunch of other dual lands not in our relevant colors, so we're just going to ignore these and focus on these 4. So, when building a deck, we got 23 here, we need 17 here so that we can have a 40 card whole deck. So, if we have 17 here, we just need 13 more to add to these, and then we're good to go. 13 more basics. So, how do I determine how many basics I use? Well, to put it simply, I just simply count the mana pips in the card. So, let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Yep, so we got 35 total pips in our deck. 35 total pips. Now, how many white pips do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 white pips. How many blue pips we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 13 blue pips. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 red pips. This is where we get the math. If you don't have your own TI-30X calculator, store-bought arithmetic is fine. So, we got 35 total pips, and out of the 35, 8 of them are white. So we got 8 divided by 35 total, times the number of lands that we still need to add. So 17 minus 4, we still need 13 lands. We're going to multiply it by 13. So we should play probably at minimum 3 basic planes. So let me grab those planes. Okay, same deal, but now with the blue. So we got 13 blue pips divided by our total of 35 times how many lands that we need, which is 13. So we should play probably 5 basic islands. And lastly, we got our red. So we got 14 red pips divided by our total of 35.4 times 13 needed lands, 5.2. So let's just put in 5 mountains. 5. Awesome. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 islands, and then 1, 2, 3 plains. And then we got our Tranquil Cove, Swiftwater Cliffs, and Mystic Monasteries to round it out. So that's our 17 lands. And then we have our 23 non-lands. So I think, get this calculator out of here. I think this would be a very playable deck for a pre-release. So I think I would have a lot of fun with this, making sure that we get good games. There's plenty of removal, plenty of evasion. Our bombs are pretty strong in here. So yeah, I'm just gonna show off these cards for a little bit just to show off what this deck would look like. And of course, I was very willing to maybe move into like black, like maybe red, blue, black Grixis colors, or a green. So if you guys want to kind of like critique my work, be like, oh, there's another deck in here that you didn't see that's a little bit better. Sure, absolutely, I would love to hear it. So you can go ahead and leave your comments in the comments below, and I will be sure to see them and take some feedback. So this is the deck that I built. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will try to do one of these, probably make it better, honestly. This is the first video. I understand it's not going to be great, but I would love to do something like this again for Final Fantasy. So if you guys are interested in seeing more deck building videos, like just how to build a deck, I'd love to share that with you. But that's all I got for you today. Hopefully this didn't take too long. Hope you have a nice day, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I'm very close to 500 subscribers, so any additional points is greatly appreciated. But that's all I got for you today. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!